I think what we're really asking is which movie's going to make more money, right? So it's going to be Superman and Fantastic Four. And I think there's a couple of factors working in the favor of both films. Okay? Obviously, Superman has really strong pre-sales. There's no way around it. They have really strong pre-sales. But what I would tell you is, considering the shenanigans, I think the pre-sales being basically on par with Fantastic Four, and Fantastic Four having been about 20 days later into the future, I mean, I think basically they're operating at about the same level. Okay? So this is literally not a scenario in which Superman is blowing Fantastic Four away. That is absolutely not supported by any of this data. Okay? Another thing that I think people are forgetting about Fantastic Four is I think it has a serious lack of competition after it initially comes out. Okay? So the way this is all going down, there's 3 massive movies in July. The first one is the Jurassic movie with Scarlett Johansson. Looks cool. People like dinosaurs. We'll see how it does. Then you've got Superman. Okay? And then 2 weeks after Superman loses all of its premium screens to Fantastic Four. 2 weeks. And Fantastic Four, like, are there movies that come out in the following weeks? Totally. Are any of them Jurassic or Superman level? No. So if you had to pick which movie you would want to be solely based on the release schedule, you want to be Fantastic Four. Right? Especially with how front-loaded things are, man. Because it's like, it's already seeming like legs kind of hard for these movies. But especially 2 weeks after you open, you lose all your premium screens and the new Marvel movie comes out. That's not a great spot to be in, dude. That's not a great spot to be in for longevity. So the way I look at it is this. I think Superman's going to be incredibly front-loaded. I think it's going to be incredibly front-loaded. And I think it'll fucking crush in those first 2 weeks. But we might be looking at something on par with Lilo and Stitch, where it makes like 600-700 million 2 weeks, and we're all like, dude, that's crazy. And then it will have its legs absolutely hacked off by Fantastic Four. And I think the difference will be, because I think Fantastic Four, it really does seem like both movies are going to operate pretty similar, at least as far as their opening. Okay? They're both going to operate pretty similar opening. The difference is, after 2 weeks, I believe Fantastic Four keeps its premium screens. And I don't think there's any major competition coming for like the rest of the summer. Right? On top of that, I think there's going to be a lot more walk-up business in the 50 days leading into, or I shouldn't say walk-up business because that would be like weekend of, but I think you'll get more pre-sales 50 days to Fantastic Four. I still think those numbers are going up. So I think that, plus you add in the fact that, like, I mean, the trailers have basically operated around the same level, which is more surprising to me about Fantastic Four, to be honest with you. Again, like, just yesterday I was saying, like, dude, I think Superman's going to crush. And it still could. We're early on all this stuff. But, dude, I'm just telling you, you look at the actual data here, it's not what we thought. It is not what we thought, dude. They're both operating at a pretty even level. I think the big difference is there's a lot of brand damage to DC. Arguably a lot of brand damage to Marvel right now, too. But we've seen Marvel be able to buck that. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine is like a great example of that. There's a whole bunch of problems with Marvel, but if they release something and it seems like it's going to be legit, people are going to respond. You know? So there's enough data to say between Guardians 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine, data to suggest that Marvel can buck their own brand damage if the sale is right, if the value proposition of the fans is right. DC does not have an example of that outside of the first Joker movie and Aquaman a little bit. right? So there could just be a lot of brand damage for DC. And you know, Luis makes an incredible point here at the end. He says word of mouth and the critical score will be so important here. And he argues it'll be more important than it has ever been for any comic book movie in the world. And I just want to open up the question to you guys in chat, and I'll give you my take on it. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that word of mouth and the reviews for Superman are maybe more important than they have been for any movie ever? Got some mixed opinions in the chat. I think yes. And I think part of why is the brand damage. But I'll tell you another reason why. And this, I don't think Luis touches on this point, but I think it's actually a pretty important point. The economy right now is fucked. Okay? And beyond just being fucked, there's no telling when it's going to get unfucked. Everything right now feels so uncertain that you have a lot of people being really conservative with their spending. Maybe they even have money right now, and they're still restricting their spending because it's so uncertain. You don't know what's happening next. So like I'm telling you, is like this, I think this is like a big thing, man. I think it's a big thing that like not a lot of people are talking about. Even people that are doing well are thinking in a more conservative, restricted, they're on the defense a little bit. Okay? And so, bruh, maybe you can only see a movie. Maybe you can only see 2 movies in July, and it's obviously going to be Superman, and it's going to be Fantastic Four. But maybe you're a super big Marvel fan, and you kind of feel like Fantastic Four might be the one you want to see twice, right? Or maybe you can see a movie 3 times, and you're like, which movie is going to get my second viewership? I don't know, right? Or maybe you can only see 1 movie in July. And now you're deciding between these 3, which one do you want to see? So you're going to hold out. I think that's a big factor here. So I think for that fact, I think when you couple the brand damage for DC, the absolute abysmal state of the economy, how restricted people's spending is, and the fact that these are both in July, I do think the word of mouth is going to be very important. And I'll say it this way. I think the real danger is that the word of mouth is bad. And unfortunate, like just looking at the numbers I'm looking at right now, I think bad word of mouth on Superman will fucking devastate this movie. Because they got 2 weeks, basically. What does that mean? That means really bad word of mouth means massive fucking drop off in weekend 2, and then it's cooked. So I'm getting $500, man. I'm telling you right now. When I looked at this data, and am I coping? Am I just trying to fucking figure out a way in my brain that I don't lose $500? Maybe. I'll never admit it. But from where I'm standing, I think I'm getting that 500, baby. I do. I dead ass do, man. I think I'm getting that sweet $500 fucking dollars. And by the way, I actually think both movies are going to do well. I want both movies to do well. I think Superman is actually in a more precarious spot. I think Superman actually has more to lose. I think Superman could go a way worse way. It's not like they're going to stop shooting Doomsday, you know what I mean? But they might be like, hey, James, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much at stake. Oh, it's so interesting. What a wild fucking time, huh? What a wild fucking time. So that's what I think's going on, man. I'm honestly, yesterday, dude, dead ass, I was like, oh my fucking God, I'm fucked. I'm totally cooked. Superman's out here giving him the cross eye when he flies around. It doesn't seem to matter. Everybody's signing up. I was so butthurt yesterday. And then I saw some other data. I started to think about it a little bit. Woo! We get that 500. All right. Anyway, those are my thoughts on why I think they're gonna do better. Thanks for watching. And if you like this clip, smash a like on the actual video and subscribe to this channel. That way more of these clips get into your feed. I've also linked the full episode below if you want to check out the entire thing, including the Q&A we do with fans. You can also watch this show live. We do it live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And you can also find all of my content, including the videos I put on my main YouTube channel, on the podcast feed.